Hello, we'd like to welcome back Hugh Easterbrook, the independent candidate for Hampstead and Kilburn for a smarter Brexit. And he's here to talk to us about international trade.
Hi, Katie.
Hi. So Theresa May talks about the upside of Brexit. What is it?
Well, she's got a very difficult job, I have to say. But when someone tells you about something that's going to be fantastic, but avoids telling you actually what it is, I think you have to be forgiven for being a little bit sceptical. I think the main opportunity that has been rather unclearly articulated is supposed to be international trade, that Britain is a great trading nation and now we can finally cut loose and trade again.
Well, that just isn't true, is it?
I hesitate to answer because, well, I really don't want to be accused of running down my country, and that's something we've heard kind of bandied about a lot as soon as anyone raises a voice of dissent. However, I think there's a lot of delusion which can be very dangerous.
What do you mean delusion, and how can it be dangerous?
Let me think. The best analogy I can give is a sporting one. Like many, I'm an enthusiastic supporter of the England football team. Every time they play in a major tournament, I read the press and gradually convince myself, along with thousands of others, that contrary to manifest statistical evidence, that this time will be different. This is patriotic delusion, but when applied to decisions about the country's future, that can be very dangerous. To continue with the sporting metaphor, you don't build a good team by saying how good you are. You can only do it by being brutally honest and actually focusing on your weaknesses and trying to rectify them.
So what is the truth about trade then?
Well, I think the first point is that if you're seeking to boost trade, alienating your number one customer, which accounts for almost 50% of your trade, is probably not a good place to start.
Wouldn't you be able to say that we could develop trade in other markets, in faster growing markets?
Well, but before we address that specific question, I think we have to debunk a fallacy. It seems to be the impression that's been given that it's the shackles of the EU that have made it difficult or impossible for us to trade with the rest of the world. In fact, this is absolutely not true. The truth is, and this is a slightly uncomfortable truth, we're just not very good at it, or we don't have the right products. I'm not really sure, but the evidence is not very encouraging. I mean, for example, we sell about $21 billion of goods and services to China, which is a fast-growing economy. But, for example, Germany, France, and the Netherlands export 93 billion, 48 billion, and 41 billion, respectively. And last time I looked, they were all in the EU. The restriction of belonging to the EU is really on being able to carve or negotiate your own direct trade deals.
Why would you say that the EU restricts individual countries from trade deals?
Well, the logic is that together we're stronger. We can negotiate better as a group, which I think is good common sense, particularly for Britain on our own to negotiate a trade deal with China or the USA. You know, there's a large imbalance in terms of size and strength. I think we need to be cognizant of that and who has the leverage in that particular discussion. However, it's fair to say that the EU has not been very good at negotiating trade deals, and the recent one with Canada took, I think, 12 years.
That doesn't bode very well for our negotiations.
Come on, Katie, we've got to be optimistic.